Hello, Vera.
Hello,
Hi.
Hunter. Hi.
How
How
you
are
doing?
How
you?
are you?
Good. How are
I'm
you?
fine. Thank you. Thank you for the interview. Oh, Satanic Panic. Okay. And you have a whole like drum set there. I mean,
I do.
that's
I
very
do.
interesting. What are
We're
you trying to say with this?
no, we're you know what? It's about 90 something degrees out. So this is my basement is very cool. So that's why I've chosen my basement to be here today.
And the T-shirt just was a T-shirt that was just there around. So you just say, okay, let's grab
I,
anything.
I have a few t-shirts which do suggest the horror genre. So yes, this was put on purpose for today.
All right, all right. So let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about the Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. You guys have been like playing Ed and Lorraine Warren for 8 years now, and the movies are still like extremely popular. So, what do you think the movies are still so popular, or what do you think this one is like adding to the franchise?
Well, I think it's the unique combination of horror and love. It is a wackadoodle combination. It makes it really, really unique and appealing. I think love and the love between them is this beautiful salve that just kind of soothes away the other sort of horrifying aspects to it. And they're a power couple. I mean, it's like this is a couple who knows how to love each other. There's a pride that comes along with that. They exude that confidence and ease, and people want it, right? Not oftentimes is marriage portrayed in such a beautiful way,
Yeah,
and that's this notion of unconditional love, and that is just people eat it up. I eat it
yeah.
up.
So, Patrick, it's interesting what Vera is saying because yeah, the movie is just. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but there's more love in this one than in the previous one, but still, it's an R-rated movie. It still has some very like horrifying, scary moments.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, and then I think Patrick, you saying, and then you say in the past that when you released the first movie that the movie was like pretty much like openly like Catholic. So that adds like a special element that makes it mainstream too. But it's interesting that combination that you're having here in the whole franchise and in this movie because it's not like a fade movie, right? You have like different elements and they all come together to make something that could be appealing for anyone, but also for like real horror fans. What do you think about that?
I agree. I don't think surgery you have to have a Roman Catholic concept of God to understand the film, the concepts of the film, or to be able to to believe hook, line, and sinker. I think you can. Patrick, I'm sorry. I know I cut you off. I did. I cut
No,
you
no,
off like a
that's
bad
good.
screen
That's,
wife.
that's good because you are the girl, the movie, you are the one. It makes sense. You're
Fine.
in
I
charge
can be
now.
here. I'm just gonna play drums. I'll be on part. Yeah. No, no, no. You're right. I mean, you're right. Hey, Sergio, here's the thing. After like 1,000 of these interviews over 10 years, we basically all say the same thing anyway. So
I
she could
know.
take this whole thing and have you fine. No, you, you're right in that these movies have all this incredible combo of these horrifying scenes, and they're very terrifying, and then we
Yeah.
have this romance. And ultimately, I do think that's what makes and like you said, they're very devout Catholics, and I admire the fact that we lean into that. I think a lot of movies, there's a lot of horror movies that deal with exorcisms and deal with and and they'll bring in a priest, or whatever to do their exorcism, but there's not necessarily religion throughout the rest of the film. And I do find it really fascinating that, listen, this was I mean, up until very recently, Lorraine had she had a priest that lived with them, and she was extremely devout. They were absolute devout Catholics. Same with Ed, and we embraced that. And I think that was something that we found on the first Conjuring. We would be doing press, and we would get requests, from very Christian organizations because we weren't
Yeah.
making any bones about it. And I think there's something really admirable with that. And certainly it does resonate to, you can't argue, it does resonate to another level if you really are a devout Catholic and believe in the power of God and the power of the devil. And this does hit a nerve that maybe it doesn't with other people, but that's not to say that, listen, if you're just a horror fan, you want to be scared and see some horrifying images and see a great story, and this series works for you as well. And I think that's the thing with the Conjuring series, is we wanted to branch out and not just be specific to, oh, this is a little horror movie, we hope it does well on opening weekend, and maybe if it does well, then we make one more. I mean, these movies transcend the genre, and I think they noticed that with the first one. Because before Conjuring, you didn't see horror movies in the summer. They were very much a winter kind of movie, and this casts such a wide net with an audience. We have so many fans that come see this and say, I don't even like horror movies, but I love you guys, and I love these relationships, and I really care about so that's the formula of these movies, is you have these very dark stories, and this is very dark. But then it enables us as the couple and showing their progression as a marriage, and as individuals, but both together, their union, and you see their marriage go through this, be put through the ringer. And so ultimately we feel like it always ends on a high note with love winning. I mean, that's our goal.
Well, there's like a little, I don't know if it's a little or big change in like the dynamic inside the couple, because Vera's character is more like, how would you say, it's like front and center, because, Patrick's character is just like going through some like physical problems. How was that for you, Vera? How was that to just like be
I don't know. Like, she's more front and center. I think that, look, they're both in it together, hands down. It is an equally yoked relationship and partnership. Like, Lorraine cannot do what she does unless he's with her, and he's lost without my clairvoyancy. Like, he's really not going to get anywhere without me. And so their marriage and their partnership is of utmost importance. But yeah, there's like there's some stick in the spokes of this relationship this time around.
Yeah. And what about the change of director? Because of course James Wan, and like a lot of fans are gonna be kind of concerned. Okay, what's going on here? Now we have this new guy, Michael Chaves. I think that's the way you pronounce his last name. Do you feel? Obviously, you both of you feel like we're. I mean, we're having a new director, but how was he? What do you think he added to the franchise in terms of direction?
Yeah. Well, I think he added a ton. I mean, I think for the few fans that are concerned, trust me, we're not gonna just hire somebody to take the reins of this franchise that doesn't have the skill set and the drive and the compassion and the ability to work with our team. And that was something that James Wan noticed with Michael Chaves on The Curse of La Llorona, and how they really just got along really well, and he felt like he'd be a good fit. James really shepherded this story. So James and David Leslie Johnson, who wrote it, they really shepherded the story and got it to a great point. So they wanted to let Michael, it's the seeds of James Wan for sure. But because it's a different tone, because it's a real different take, I think it actually works for the film, because he's got both the right amount of compassion and respect for the franchise. He's not just out to this being Chaves. Michael, he did not want to just make his own stake on the movie just for his own ego. He very much loved the franchise and wanted this to fit into the franchise as well as propel it forward. And so he's got both the technical skill set and just, he leads with love as well. I mean, he's a very positive guy, and that honestly is a huge asset.
All right, Vera and Patrick, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your movies.
You're welcome.
Thank you.